There we go. Alright. Everything should be good to go. As long as my controller doesn't die. I forgot to put myself on Do Not Disturb. I always forget something. So let's do that. Alright, now we should be good to go. Once I get everything arranged like it should be. Alright, there we go. It's been how many weeks? A couple weeks.
Yeah.
Comes as a surprise to nobody. So, yeah, we are back, right here, apparently. Okay, I remember this now. Whoa, that was weird.
Oh, that's another player.
Yeah, that's interesting. Got some alpha transparency issues or something.
Classic.
Yeah. So yeah, back with Dark Souls 2 again. Much has happened since last stream. We got a new puppy, for one thing.
Whoa!
Yeah. That was not planned. that was just it was halfway planned in the sense that Rachel has been wanting a new puppy, and I have been like, we have too many things already.
Too many things.
Yeah.
Children.
Pets. Exactly. So she was like, okay, can we just go to the shelter to look at the kittens? Just because we like cats. And I was like, yeah, I know what you're doing, but sure, why not? And so we went there, and then there was secretly a particular dog that she wanted to look at, but that dog did not want to have anything to do with us. He like went back like into the back part, like he had like a doggy door he could go through to not be, to be in like a backstage part of his kennel, and he just went through that and did not want to talk to us. But there was this other dog there that we saw, and it was the sweetest little dog. It was just like laying there kind of like shaking and also trying to wag its tail at us. And we were both immediately like, uh-oh, I think that's our dog. So we adopted her. And she is, we don't know yet, because last time we adopted a dog, it was not at all what it was listed as. She is listed as a Australian Shepherd, which she does kind of look like, but she's tiny and not really all that fluffy, and honestly looks a little bit like she has some like border collie sort of to her also.
Very cute.
Yeah, so but she's really small. Like almost she's like on the smaller end of medium dog. Yeah, so we have had to adjust our life a little bit because whatever she is an active breed. So we've had to start taking daily walks, because our other dog, Daisy, is like the laziest dog ever. Can I? Okay, no, there's like a lever here, but I can't pull it. She's absolutely the laziest dog ever. So, we really don't have to take her on, like, we've tried taking her on walks, and it doesn't go well, because...
Doesn't Daisy have 3 legs?
Yes, that's part of it. So there are layers to her laziness. The first one is that she only has 3 legs. So the next one is that she is a larger dog. She's not overweight, but she's just very, like, burly. So that combined with the 3 legs means that she has to put in a lot of effort to move around. And the third part to it is that she's, the biggest chunk of her genetics is Great Pyrenees. And they are watchdog. They're like a flock watching dog that basically want to spend a lot of time just kind of sitting there and staring, because that's what they were bred for. and she definitely inherited that trait. She really wants to have a lot of time where she can lay down apart from everyone else. She's not a very, like, cuddly dog. She just wants to kind of lay down on her own and stare at things. So the dog we just got, and wow, this guy having a spear makes him so much more of a problem than the others. Or did the others have spears? I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention. I've noticed we've got not a whole lot of people watching. Kind of wondering if the notification didn't go out like it was supposed to, but that's fine.
Which it goes out to your Discord channel.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Supposed to, I mean, I don't usually expect a ton of people, but there's quite a few less than there is normally, which is I'm just concerned that something didn't notify properly. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I haven't streamed in weeks and doing this out of the blue.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So the new dog is named Birdie, and we've been taking her on like 2-mile walks every day. Which isn't that, I mean, 2-mile walk isn't that bad, but the problem is that it is more that like there's so much time taken up by my mornings already, and now that takes like an extra like hour and a half every morning to so between that and I ended up scheduling a whole bunch of stuff I've been promising people and putting off this week. Between that and between those things, I have done like nothing productive this week, like work-wise. I've basically spent my whole week just, doing stuff that is not work, which I'm kind of feeling it. I'm like, wow, I really miss being able to work on stuff.
Oh no.
I need to remember. So right, there's a boss that way, but there's potentially a way to deal with the boss this way.
Yeah, you mean deal with the boss in a way where he's not invisible?
Yes. Hello, Mr. So is it Mr. Emachin or Mremachin? Hello, anyway, whatever your name is. Okay, right. I was right. These guys have swords. And they hate staggering. That's just a given at this point with... Okay, this guy had a spear. I hear somebody else coming. Ah! Oops. Mystery machine. Okay. Mr. E machine. I see. I get it. That makes sense. I don't know, I kind of think I had the right idea with the bonk stick. And the other thing that happened is yesterday... So, my wife's best friend from childhood is a high school teacher locally. And it turns out that a whole bunch of the kids in her class know who I am, and didn't believe her that she knew me, which I thought was really funny. So, since it's the end of the school year, and, like, there's no way she's going to be able to teach anything, she was like, can you just come and, I don't know, talk, like, do you talk to the class or, like, answer questions or things like that? And I was like, sure. So I went and did that yesterday, which was really fun and interesting, but it's really crazy, it's just this random local high school, and, like, the entire class knew who I was and was, like, fans of me. Not the entire class, but a whole bunch of the class.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Were they all, did they all know you through Iron Lung?
So I'm not sure
Or is
what
it
they
like
all.
a combination?
I think it was a lot of different things. Probably mostly Iron Lung. There was one guy there who like was real deep into it. Like he'd played all of my like top-down games from when I was in college and high school, which is like an incredibly deep cut. And he was referencing it was referencing like one of my YouTube like shit posts. Like so he was deep into the Szymanski knowledge.
Can't tell. I think Discord might be dying, or Twitch is dying, or your internet's dying, or
Oh,
my
really?
internet's dying.
Is it the stream? Or is it like the stream, or is it me streaming to you, or
I'm not sure.
okay, we'll see if it gets better. Now these guys were fast. Maybe I'll switch here to the pokes. Oh,
Other people
someone
saying
said the stream froze for 20 seconds.
It seems to be back.
Okay, that's good. Come on, dogs. Yeah, I thought maybe I could get both of them on that one, but nope. Yeah, Bloodshot says, not gonna lie, I got so used to no stream, I forgot to even check this week. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but once we've canceled the stream 1 week, it like primes the universe to make the stream cancel other weeks or something. I don't know. So what have you been up to since last stream, Dylan?
Mostly working. We've been trying to get another update out for Gloomwood.
Yeah. That's just always a given.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
crunching for Gloomwood.
Luckily we're not in the turbo crunch yet. But,
That's good.
Do have some things that we're working on. Have been playing. What was I playing? Been playing. So I did buy Subnautica 2, but this is gonna sound familiar to everyone. I don't really like playing games that much during early access. Because I always worry I'm gonna get tired of it before the full release. So usually, like I will buy like an early access game to like support the developers, and then I might like jump in and like check it out and just be like, yep, this is gonna be cool when it's done, and then I'll wait until it's done. So actually, I went and started playing Below Zero because I hadn't played Below Zero. I've sunk hundreds of hours into fucking Subnautica 1, but never played Below Zero.
Yeah, and you said it's actually pretty good. I know it had
Yeah.
a bit of a divisive reception at launch, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think the main thing that was pretty divisive is that the main character talks more than
More than
I
Zero.
don't even remember. Yeah, like the main character in the first game is named Simon or something. This just
Oh,
you'd never know. And I can absolutely see why that's kind of divisive. Like it's really hard to go. It would be like if Gordon Freeman started talking in the next Half-Life game.
yeah. At face value, that sounds incredibly awful. But maybe it's fine once you get used to it.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but I can absolutely see why people were like.
I suppose
oh,
it depends on what the
not a-
character says. He's
Yeah.
like, whoa! I just grabbed a fish with my freaking hand!
Yeah, millennial writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and some of it is sort of like, oh, they didn't need to. This is unnecessary.
Well, I can't believe
But
it.
the rest of it is definitely like super Subnautica. and pretty enjoyable. I think they said that Below Zero was going to be a DLC for the first game, but then it grew into being its own standalone experience. So it's not quite. It's bigger than a DLC, but not as big as a sequel.
Okay,
And
that makes
you
sense.
can tell that. Yeah.
How's the this is a random question, but how's the cold elements, like the frozen parts of it?
I think they feel pretty good. I love the addition of weather. You really there's like windstorms and hail and rain and thunder, and it made me realize that, like, man, I kind of wish these were in the original Subnautica, because there's no like weather in the original Subnautica.
Yeah. Is there more like overground segments in Below Zero, or like not underwater bits?
Yeah, there is more up on land parts, like ice shelves and stuff, which I don't know if you remember this from Subnautica 1. The physics when you're not in water is pretty weird.
I remember that the game is definitely not at its best when you're not in water.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same here. It's a little better than Subnautica 1 in that regard. But it's still not like, it's not really good enough to sort of, it wouldn't work as an above. The water is the draw point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, every time you're on land, it's kind of like, okay, when do I get back to the water?
Yeah, I remember that being the case in the first one too, although I did really like the fact that they had on land segments. I remember it being like, yeah, these are definitely what you'd expect from a land segment in a game made for being underwater.
Yeah, which is so funny because usually it's the other way around. Usually it's like, oh, this land game has a water segment that sucks ass.
Yeah, video games are not known for fun water physics most of the time.
Yeah.
Notice someone in chat, well, I'll wait till the ad is done, talking about caffeine addiction. It's fun stuff.
I have that bad.
Yeah, I spent years being, saying, just saying no to the coffee and the soda and stuff. But it was really, the tipping point was the iron lung shoot. Because it was like way earlier mornings than I was used to, and for me it was a little, I guess you'd call it socially exhausting. Even though like I loved everyone on the set, like just an incredible group of people and really fun to hang around with and talk to and everything, but it was still like an immense amount of socialization that I was not used to. So I was pretty exhausted at the end of in addition to, there was all sorts of dumb, like, mental health stuff happening at the time. And anyway, point is, I got into the habit of drinking coffee every morning on the Iron Lung set, and that I just never stopped. The problem is that coffee's really tasty. Like,
yeah.
If it was like, I don't like this, but if it was a pill, like, that'd be like, I'll work myself off of that. But, like, no, I love the taste of coffee. Like, I want to drink coffee every morning. And then my beautiful, lovely wife got me addicted to Baja Blast, of all things. Because I'm not really a soda person at all.
How did that happen?
I don't even remember. She somehow she got on the and it's specifically Baja Blast Zero. Like, actually, the actual, like, real sweetened stuff is, like, kind of too sweet. But, like, the Zero is, like, it's really, it's like, sweet enough that it hits the, gross syrupy soda sweet sort of, appeal, but it's not too overly syrupy, I guess. I don't know. She somehow got on it, and so then it was in the house, and then she was like, hey, you gotta try this, I really like it. And then that's, like, she corrupted me, basically, is what happened. So now I have like at least 2 goes of caffeine every day. There's morning coffee, which is a given every day, and then sometime, like, I've gotten out of the habit of drinking tea, mostly just because it takes like time and effort to brew it, and I want to get back into that because I miss tea. But yeah, usually kidney stone factory. Exactly. College, your best friend would take caffeine pills and down them with coffee. Good lord. That's a very college thing to do. Ooh, thing.
It's
Yeah.
like some of the other like new blood devs that are like, yeah, I have like 5 energy drinks a day, and I'm like, you're
Yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the health effects are. I just know, like, instinctively, it's like there's got to be health effects to that. Like
Yeah.
that can't be good. I don't know. Energy drinks freak me out, even though like, whoop, okay, well, guess I'm down here now. Even though, like, on paper, I don't think they're actually that much different than just drinking soda or coffee, but I don't know. Something about energy drinks specifically just weird me out. I also saw Bloodshot. You just played through RE1 Remake, which is pretty awesome. I think you just said, you went, what was it, RE4 Remake, and then RE1 Remake, which is an incredible series of back-to-back games. Like,
And also a complete vibe shift between RE4
Yeah.
and RE1.
although, honestly, that's the order I did way back, when I was younger and played them I played RE4 first and fell in love with that, and then went to RE1 Remake and fell in love with that, too.
That's wild.
So it's possible to do it, but I'm also, a huge weirdo.
the OG game, RE1 and through 3 were my introduction because my brother had a PlayStation.
Nice.
And would let me play it when I was too young.
Yeah.
And yeah, that I have so many good fond memories. I've loved actually going back and playing those now that I mean, I emulated them a couple years ago, but I went back and played through a bunch of it
Yeah.
with the bundle drop.
Yeah.
And those games hold up. They're awesome. I love them.
They do. I would say that if you're so I, came from RE4, RE1 Remake, all of more, I guess that'd be, what would that be, like middle era Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And then I went back and played the originals, and I would definitely agree that they hold up, although I would say if you go in expecting a really, like, strict, punishing, tense survival horror experience, you probably will come away a little disappointed, just because they're not, like, if you play RE1 Remake first, they're not going to be as hard or punishing as that.
Yeah.
Which I don't think, like, they have their own merits and their own appeal, for sure. I just played through RE1 Original the first time, like, a month or two ago, and was really pleasantly surprised with how fun that game is, because I'd always kind of seen it as like, that's not gonna go well. We're not even gonna try that. That's not gonna go well. I'd always kind of thought it was gonna be just kind of like, less well-realized version of its remake, but no, it's actually very enjoyable on its own terms and very definitely worth playing, like, even if you've played the remake, because there's quite a few differences. And then 2 is, of course, a classic. I have played 3 before, but I haven't gotten to replaying it yet. But I remember 3, but even though I know I'm backtracking, by the way, I'm just looking around before I do anything stupid with the bridge. I know people are kind of harsh on 3, but I remember 3 being really fun. or rolling actually
Yeah,
work?
I really like Through a lot.
Yeah, I remember it being really good.
I think just because like Nemesis when it came out was just uh the concept of like an enemy like that, especially since he can go through like the loading screens, was just so like holy shit. It's just it a lot to it. That novelty doesn't really exist anymore because you know a million survival horror games have stalker enemies. But
Yeah.
at the time, it was like oh nothing in Resident Evil 2 and 1 did this.
Yeah. Bloodshot said, yeah, 4 aged very well. I think 4 is basically ageless. I do disagree that RE1 has you're talking about a remake, right? I don't think that's really aged, but I understand the sentiment. Cuz the remake. So my specific distinction, I guess, is that I don't think there's anything in the remake that feels like I guess what I'd say is I don't think there's anything in RE1 remake that feels like the age of the game is detracting from the intended design. I think that most of the elements that you could parse as being aged to me are kind of an essential part of the design of that game, as opposed to something like maybe this is controversial, but I'd say like original Wolfenstein control scheme is something that is aged to me, because I don't think it necessarily. Well, I mean, people would disagree with that. I guess it's all up to debate anyway. But yeah, I can understand the sentiment though of like, because it's the fixed camera, it's the tank controls, it's really not interested at all in, you know, onboarding you to what you're supposed to be doing.
I got a better example. Original System Shock controls.
Oh man, I have a fondness for them because I love how they make you feel like you're really controlling like this crazy, insane cybernetic interface, but. Yeah, they have. They're even like being that sort of crazy person. They still have not aged very well. They're still like, what do you mean I have to click and drag to lean?
Yeah, it's so funny. I also have a fondness because it's like I think you said it, or it's just like someone said it, but it's like operating a operating system inside like a shooter, and it's exactly that, and it's really funny. And you do like it does like change your brain to work and make it feel natural over time. But when you first start playing it, it's like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? I'm like, I can't even walk to the next room.
So Bloodshot said it's less that it aged bad and more that it was a great one-off rather than a game you'd be looking to replay for its gameplay. I could see that. I think it is. I think it is actually extremely replay friendly, but it depends a lot on the person. And like I'm not a very mechanically skilled person. I'd imagine you being someone who can legitimately like skill play games, like speedrun and stuff. There's probably a level of mechanical complexity and skill expression and like stuff like that that you are looking for that doesn't even that like but for me I find it really satisfying to replay even like RE1 remake, just because, well, I find the controls really satisfying. It feels like playing a racing game to me, where it's like, oh right, this direction, okay, where it's like, you know, just getting the turns exactly right between perspective shifts and stuff just feels really nice, and it feels really nice to like get the checklist checked off fast, if that makes sense. It's like once you know what you're supposed to do, then you can start routing better and stuff like that. But
I have to ask because it's such a rare thing.
dang it.
Well, it's not rare, but going from RE1 remake to OG RE1, did you try to do the like thing where you bait a zombie grab and like run past them?
Sorry, that was to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like when basically when you encounter a zombie, did you try to do the thing where you like make them whiff their grab and then run past them?
Oh,
Like
when I went to
remake?
RE1 Original after
Yeah.
playing, yes, I did, and that does not work.
It does not work in that game. Yeah.
No.
It was funny because even though I'd played the OG, it'd been quite a few years, and I tried to do that in the first zombie, and I was like, right, that's not a thing in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, Bloodshot. So the weird thing about OG, well, really the whole OG trilogy is they are not nearly as much keyed into the idea of you not killing enemies. There's a little bit of it, but it's not like the remakes, like 1 and then later on 2, went a lot harder into the idea of like, no, you have to really decide where you're gonna use your ammo and stuff. In the originals, it's more like, yeah, you can pretty much just shoot everything, especially 2. 2 is really friendly to letting you just kind of shoot everything as long as you put in like a very base level of kind of resource management. Like you can shoot all the zombies.
Yeah, mostly when you're resource starved is kind of like in the really early game.
Yeah.
And most of the time, so instead of like kind of whiffing the grab animation and running past them like RE1 remake, the zombies are slow enough that you kind of use spacing. The spacing is a lot more important than like the animation timing. You basically can like, if they're like facing away from you, they turn slow enough that like you can run past them. But yeah, if they're like in front of you coming at you, and you try to like fake the grab, they'll grab you. Like they don't. There's no like cooldown for their grab.
So kind of on that note, I have been really it's over the last maybe even 2 years up till now, I've kind of been branching out from my comfort zone. Like I'm always going to be a huge FPS guy, but I found that I've been wanting to like play stuff that wouldn't have interested me as much in previous years, and I'd say, Souls was kind of one of the starts of that. So anyway, the long preamble aside, I have been playing The Forest from 2018, the survival crafting game. Kind of just out of the blue, like I am not a survival crafting guy, or at least I thought I wasn't. Between The Forest and Abiotic Factor, courtesy of our own Zag, and Subnautica, of course, I'm kind of learning that I think I might actually enjoy survival crafting games if they have goals. like if they're not a like you make your own goals thing, and they have like a narrative and progression, and especially hand designed world. And yeah, The Forest is really good. Like what? I mean, I know this is not news to anyone else, but I'd spent years kind of thinking of it as, oh yeah, that's one of those grindy. It's one of those like survival sim kind of janky, grindy games that I'm not really into. And it turns out, no, what it actually is like a pretty effective horror game, pretty effective like exploration horror game that just happens to have survival and crafting in it. And wow, it's good. Like, it's scary. It's really engaging. It's atmospheric. The sound design's phenomenal. Like the sound design in the woods itself is like you can hear individual like leaves falling around you and stuff. It's really good. The AI is really cool. Like, I don't want to say that it's comparable to like Stalker's A-Life, but it's closer to that than I ever would have thought in terms of the world feeling actually kind of alive and scary and reactive. And yeah, anyway, I've been having a great time with that. Just really impressed and surprised by it, and once I finish that, I'm kind of thinking I might want to give the sequel a try, or try jumping into, if I'm still feeling interested in the survival crafting stuff, I might try some other games that I might have missed. Like, I've heard Grounded is pretty fun. It seems like there's a lot of nuance and variety to the genre that I hadn't given it credit for. And I think some of it turns out there is a brand of survival crafting game I do like. So anyway, what I'm saying is, I'm open to suggestions. Also, if there's something else out there that is a shoe-in for if you like Subnautica and The Forest and games like that. The sequel, yes, the sequel has a body horror waifu. That is a very appealing prospect, also, because wow, that game's lonely, which is great. But I'd be cool with a body horror waifu along for the horror. That's cool.
I haven't played The Forest. Somehow I own it. And it says I've booted it up, but probably didn't play it very much. But I definitely wanted to give it a try after what you were telling me about it.
Yeah, I think there may be elements that could, I don't think it's not a game like Infra or something like that where every single element clicks for me. There's some stuff, there is a sort of tower defense, base defense element to it, which it's fine. It's whatever. It is a survival game. There is some grind associated with it, and I'm not the biggest fan of grind in games, but yeah, I think I think you will also just really appreciate what it does with the horror and the atmosphere. It's very The Descent coded, and the way
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I even it's an entirely different game, but I one of the things I really enjoyed from Miasmata is that feeling of you being kind of watched while you're just out and about doing things.
Yeah, and I hesitated to say it, but there are tones of Miasmata in it. That I was in fact, in some ways I think it's the closest game I've played since probably, I mean, Betrayer is in there also, but closest thing since Miasmata and Betrayer to doing that thing of making the woods in daytime feel claustrophobic and scary. It's very good at that. It's a lot closer to... Oh, okay, wait, I can light these. It's a lot closer to Miasmata in that regard than I ever would have thought. Ever would have thought I'd feel from a game like that. Yeah, it has. Anyway, yeah, you'll have to play it, and I'll be very interested to hear what you think. Wait a minute, I can just light my torch with a butterfly. I think I'm gonna do that. I'll be very interested to hear how your take on it whenever you do end up playing it. Definitely. Oh, you really want... Miasmata doesn't function on your PC. That sucks.
Yeah, because Miasmata is a full custom engine.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, that was... I mean, it's old enough now that was actually pre... I think Unity existed, but it was before it was a big popular choice. And I remember at the time... Miasmata actually got a decent amount of press coverage because of how incredible it looked for an indie game, which now it doesn't. But at the time it was that, and there maybe a couple games. I think that was even before games that licensed UE3 were kind of showing up, or games that used not UE3. Unreal SDK, is that what it was?
Yeah.
That people used, I think. Yeah, anyway, if you remember that time, it's really interesting to see because some of it is incredibly high fidelity for the time for being an indie game, and some of it is like, oh yeah, this is a custom engine made by 2 people.
Which it is an like, if you do put it aside, and yeah, it has those rough edges, but man, some of the moments in Miasmata, you're just like, oh, I have to screenshot this. This looks so good.
Wait, why didn't my torch light? Can I not light it out in the wind?
Might be too cold.
Huh. I guess that would make sense. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get it here then. Huh. Yeah, also for the uninitiated, if you don't know what Miasmata is or have never played it, it is very worth looking up and trying, because there's like half a dozen different ways that it's unlike anything else you've ever played. It's like, it is a, let's see, it's like a open world cartography and botany stalker horror game. I think that's about the best way to describe it. There is nothing else like it, and I don't even mean that in the like, oh, it has one gameplay mechanic that's really unique. No, it has like half a dozen. Like, there's just, you have never played anything like it, and it's really cool and really good. If it works on your computer, apparently.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like, sometimes it'll just be like, okay, now you have to do, like, map surveying. And it's like, oh, what? I didn't realize this was going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's so... It is so, like, designed for a specific niche of, like, a specific crossover niche. It's like, do you like botany and cartography and, survival? like a... Not even survival, like survival crafting, more like Boy Scout survival. Like, oh, you're in the woods, how do you triangulate? Stuff like yeah, anyway, highly recommended. That's one of my favorite indie games, I think. Definitely was, at the time of release, it was one of my favorite games I'd ever played. It was just so unlike anything else. Yeah, Bloodshot asked, do you think playing the forest in co-op would detract from the experience, or just be a different experience? Not having done it, I'm not sure, but I actually think it's a rare case, of it not detracting from the experience, I think. Because it's not like a, I wouldn't call it a subtle horror game, by any means. It's not like a, you know, the atmosphere and the vibe is brittle sort of game. I think actually playing with a friend, especially if both of you are going in blind, I think would actually be probably a pretty effective co-op horror experience, too. That's my guess, at least. Alright, so I found another bonfire. I don't know how I'm gonna get those torches lit, but... Oh, okay, I thought that was an enemy for a sec. Yuzariz says, having played it in co-op, it is kind of different. Gets buggier, and the AI can also kind of change with more players. Okay, gotcha. Oh, and you can deforest like crazy, which makes the locals angry. Does it? I kind of thought that it might. I did a little bit of deforestation, and they didn't seem to like it.
That's very funny.
Yeah, they I guess they get mad when you chop down a bunch of trees, and you can chop down the trees, and it seems like they're completely persistent, like which is, I guess, isn't that unusual, but it is really interesting to see, like, because the forests look pretty good. When you're not in the trees, there are some parts that look a little like, okay, yeah, this is a Unity game from 2018. When you're in the forest, it looks really good. Whoops, wrong thing. And it's kind of cool to be around, like, a really heavily forested area, and then chop down all the trees to build your, build your base, and then have it actually be like a deforested, barren area. Then it's neat to see that that progression.
I'm not gonna say this is a requirement for me, but I feel like this really helps my brain kind of find a survival crafting game satisfactory. but I kind of need my survival crafting game to have a persistent world, and specifically to have finite resources in its persistent world.
Okay.
So there are exceptions to that. Like, it's totally fine for me if like you can grow things and those regenerate, because that makes that makes a lot of sense to me. But for me, one of the satisfying things about playing Subnautica or Abiotic Factor is that you sort of, I wouldn't say conquer an area, but there is impetus to move on after you've kind of pulled the resources from an area, and you're sort of like, okay, I've been there, I've checked the resources there, I've kind of cleaned that out. Whereas if the game was like infinitely respawning stuff, I feel a lot of the times when I play a game that's like that, I will just get stuck there harvesting those resources and not sort of. I need that sort of push towards going somewhere different. Like Abiotic Factor is great for this because it's like you'll go and you'll be like, oh, you know, there's still a bunch of stuff in the break room in this part of the laboratory. And you'll go and you'll clean it out, and it's like, okay, I got all the stuff there. Now we need to expand. We need to go to a new area. And Allie and I were like, there's almost like an exciting part of the journey about going to part of the facility, because it's like, oh, what furniture options are there going to be in the new rooms?
Yeah, that's true. Abiotic Factor, it's like, it's all finite, which is really cool, and I think you're right. That is because, like, and I will say that I would be interested to hear where the forest ends up falling into there for you, because some of it is finite, some of it is definitely not finite. Like animal, like, there's a lot that basically seems like it dynamically spawns around you. Things like sticks to pick up and rocks and stuff. But then it also has different areas where different things spawn. It's kind of a mix, so I'd be interested to hear how that works. But I think you've touched on something there, because I have this weird thing where I'm really put off by the sort of collecting and amassing sort of mechanics that are in, say, Fallout 4. Like the way Bethesda does it really often puts me off. In games like that where you're just, I'm really put off by that, and I don't even know if I could tell you why, but it's like stressful and not positive for me. But I find amassing resources and picking stuff up in survival horror games incredibly satisfying. Like, it's so super satisfying to me to clean out every room in a Resident Evil game and put all of that in my stash. And I don't know what the difference is. And I think you might have hit on something there, because similarly, I think it's really satisfying in Abiotic Factor to use all the resources and see that, okay, that's an area I've now cleaned out and made use of. But it's like stressful for me when it feels like there's more stuff here than I can actually carry or use or mentally catalog. And so I just I'm just like hoovering it all up, and I don't know, that's stressful to me, and I can't even explain why, but maybe that's one of the differences.
I love because Prey 2017 also has that, where like everything, all the objects are like finite, but you can sort of boil them down into the recycling mechanic.
Yes.
But it would feel so different if like you went to an area earlier on that you cleared out, and it's like, oh, all the furniture and like objects have respawned. Where it's like,
that would suck.
More,
yeah.
Yeah, it feels more like, oh, you know, I need to expand to like amass my resources and clear out Talos 1. And there's something to it where like, if I know that the resources are finite to a degree, I quite enjoy it, because it kind of adds that tension of like, okay, I have to like make the resources that I have count.
I
have
think
to, like,
also
utilize
maybe
them intelligently.
yeah, I think also possibly some of it is that it feels like an action that has not weight, but it's like the action has an effect on the world, and it was a choice rather than it feeling like you are on a treadmill.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because ultimately those actions you do, like Talos 1 at the beginning of the game and Talos 1 at the end of the game is different because you're stripped it kind of like a vulture.
Yeah.
And same with like abiotic factor and such.
Yeah.
And if the game didn't have that sort of reactivity, it wouldn't feel like the world reacting to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that some more, like, because oh man, that's not what I want to use, dang it. That's interesting to think about the idea that what makes this satisfying isn't the amassing of something, it's actually the finiteness of something. Which I feel like I don't know, that's just kind of an interesting idea to me that I hadn't really thought about, I guess. Because usually you think of, like, stuff is satisfying when there's more. It's like, it's more satisfying to, like, if you think of, like, a Survivors-like game, it's really satisfying to have a bunch of gems down that you pick up, rather than it, but it's interesting to think of sometimes, actually, it's more satisfying when there's less of a thing.
My other, like, the complete opposite of this, like many, I played pretty much World of Warcraft when it came out, and in that game, all the resources, like, for professions, they just respawn after, X amount of time, and I've never found that system satisfying. Like, it's like, oh, you have to level up your mining, and, you wait for this ore vein to respawn, and then you mine it, and then you wait for it to respawn, or you go find another one, and then you're sort of bouncing between 2 or 3 veins that just keep respawning.
Yeah.
I've always found that, like, this is just a grind. This is not actually fun at all. It's not gameplay that I find engaging.
Yeah, I guess using up a resource is still progress and an accomplishment, I guess.
Yeah.
And if it's not something that can be used up, I guess at that point it's like, it's Sisyphean. It's like, oh, well, that's not me doing this or me not doing this has zero effect on the game state, I guess. And also, yeah, as Kirby Rar said, less is sometimes more. I think less is a lot of times can be more, which is, I don't feel like that's entertained a lot in game design theory right now. I feel like the general wisdom is usually that, well, if 1 of something is good, then 10 of something is even better. Where I actually think addition can be subtractive sometimes. I think my favorite example of this is Diablo 1. And it's not because Diablo 2 is a bad game by any means. Diablo 2 rules, but it lost something by adding a lot. There's just nothing else hits like Diablo 1, and I don't even know if I could quantify, exactly why, but it's like the fact that you can't run around, the fact that there's not as much loot, there's not as much to think about, not as much ability. It's like the less of stuff creates something in Diablo 1 that is gone when more was added. So yeah, anyway, it's saying I agree. So that's addition isn't always subtractive, but can be subtractive.
Have you seen Chris's game? The guy...
Counterpoint: 10 more Chop Goblins games. That would be additive for sure. More Chop Goblins would always be better. Sorry, Dylan. What were you saying?
Chris's game, who made The Fruit and Pixar. He's working on a game called Heathen, which is a indie.
Oh, is that him?
Diablo. Yeah, that's an indie Diablo 1 like.
I saw that game and I thought it looked really cool. I somehow didn't put together that it was him making it. That's awesome.
Yep.
He's a great developer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I mean, really, everyone who contributed to the DreadX, the Hunt, was a phenomenal developer, I think.
And the fruit was freaking awesome.
So
I
good.
mean, yeah, the like musket reloading mechanic is so cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites of that collection. My number one is always going to be Octana 64.
Yeah.
But it's like an unfair competition. That's basically better Squirrel Stapler. So,
So funny.
but yeah, the fruit was phenomenal. I mean, all of those, I loved all of the games in that. Obviously, I'm biased because I, directed them. One of your game ideas was a twin-stick roguelite, and one of the level generation constraints is resource availability. Yeah, that would be cool. I like limited resources when they... I know I'm doing a lot of back and forth in the game. I'm just trying to make sure that I actually, I'm actually cognizant of what I'm doing and where I'm going while I'm trying to talk. I really like limited resources when the limitations are what create interesting problems to solve. And it doesn't even have to be like super limited, like even what we've been talking about where it's like there's finite resources can create interesting decisions to make. But yeah, I like it when resources are like the limited amount of these resources forces you or encourages you to make decisions revolving around that. I'm not as big a fan of when the limited amount of resources is just sort of a soft lock or a game over. Although I guess it is that that's the threat in a survival horror game, right? Is that the threat is that you will soft lock yourself. I feel like it's not really something that you can... I've heard you can do that really easily in Code Veronica, but I haven't played it. But anything else, like, I don't know if I've ever heard of somebody actually soft locking themselves in like RE1 Remake. Maybe it's happened, but I think it's more that the threat is there that this could happen. Same with System Shock 2, where it's like the threat is that you could soft lock yourself, so that creates tension. It turns your brain on to have to think about like, oh, I don't want that. I can't rely on the game to keep me safe, even if behind the hood maybe you kind of can. But like having that threat, I think is very, Anyway, well,
I've seen people complain about that playing RE9, and they'll show themselves like before a boss fight with 0 ammo in all their guns, and it's like,
man,
brother, what have you been doing with your ammo?
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, how would that? I mean, I think the boss arenas have ammo in them in that game, right? If I remember right.
Yeah, but I don't think it respawns. Some games they do, but
what the heck is happening? What is? Oh wait, is this another invisible thing? This sure does look like another invisible thing. Did I get it?
Also, I feel like it's one of those. I feel like it's one of those like baby's first survival horror lessons, to learn that like you really need to stagger your saves.
Yeah, I always rotate, even in games where I know it's not going to be necessary. If it is survival horror adjacent, and it has save slots, they are all getting rotated.
Yeah.
You absolutely can soft lock in Remake 1, but you have to go out of your way to do it. Yeah, I've heard from Johnny that he got soft locked in Code Veronica. I don't always trust
Code Veronica. No, he's right on that one. Code Veronica's ruthless.
That's one I haven't played, and I'm really interested to, because of that.
There's a way that like it swaps characters that you can easily soft lock yourself if you're not careful.
Gotcha. That's why you gotta rotate the saves. Oh, there's a guy. There's a lot of play space I've gone through here without hitting a point where, like I feel like I've gone through a lot without really hitting a point yet where I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, my survival horror habits, and honestly, this probably also came from playing, you know, Morrowind and Oblivion. But I rotate saves just because the threat of your save becoming corrupted or unplayable is just always there. Ali was playing. I think this was original Fallout 3, but she had a save file that I think she quick saved while a super mutant was firing a mini nuke at her.
Fat boy or whatever.
Yeah, and so she kept loading into like a death spiral. It was just like
That's
load
hilarious.
the save, and before the fade is done, you hear the whistling of the fat man towards her, and then her corpse explodes.
That's hilarious. My favorite one of that for myself was when I first played Half-Life 1 many years ago. I quick saved inside one of those like launchy pits in Zen.
Oh no!
And so yeah, and it was impossible to survive. I ended up having to like turn on God, like figure out how to enable cheats and turn on God mode because I'd load my save and then whoop, up into the air 50 feet.
Luke, I did see your instant death and Death of the Outsiders.
Oh, which one was? I'm not sure I saw that. What caused the infinite death?
I think it was just like an auto save that happened to like right before an enemy killed him.
Nice.
And it was just like kept loading into the death. That room is Oh, was it an enemy? Because I also saw your video of like you throwing the clones. It was an automatically closing door. Okay, wait, I need to see this again.
Yeah, here.
I know you
I
posted
think I'm
in
safe.
like Bloom
Here,
chat.
I'll take a look.
Because I also know you posted the video of like you throwing the clones into the bank power floor trap, which was hilarious.
Here, let's see here. Why can't I click and drag? Oh, there we go.
Wait, where's the are you standing like underneath the door? This is so jank.
Nice. That's that's really unfortunate.
It's like it hasn't even had enough time to like unpause.
Yeah. Speaking of what, Dylan, that I was like uncontrollably losing it at that that video you sent me of what it was like. I couldn't even quite tell what was on the fan. Was it a dead rat? In that vid where it's like the fan, there was like something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that is that's Death of the Outsider, and he's using the hook mine.
Okay.
And he throws it onto a fan, and it hooks one of the guards, and their body just flings around the room like endlessly.
Okay, I thought at first that it was like is it Domino in Dishonored?
Yeah.
I thought it was that, and it was like I thought it was Domino doing that, but it was the hook mine. Okay, that is so funny though. I thought I had time to switch.
Yeah, I posted the link to it. I love that the other guard comes in and doesn't notice the dude that's flinging about from the ceiling, and then he says like, "If that was a rat, it was a big one."
Yeah. Whoop, another dog. There we go. This thing must be on a... Oh, no, it's only half dead. Okay. Yeah, here, let me bring that up. If I can watch TikTok without being signed in, Sound? No sound. Oh, here we go. Down. The way it's just slamming him into the walls as the alert meter is going up. So good.
Like crashing into the blinds and everything.
Yeah. It's more proof, if proof were needed, that ragdoll sounds are like the funniest thing that's ever been added to games. Okay, so there's that. That is all the way back at the very start, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of hoping I open a shortcut. Looks like it could be a shortcut. Yeah, as a developer, you don't want Gloomwood ragdolls. As a player, you really want... I know, ragdolls are so... They're so much less funny now than they used to be. Like, I think it was way better back when ragdolls kind of weren't physically realistic. And so you'd have, like, oh, I just shot the guy and he cartwheeled into the wall. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, sword guy. Oh, come on.
I think I did try and make the bodies ragdoll at some point, but it really didn't work.
It sounds like something we probably tried.
Yeah.
I think there is also comedic value in the, stiff as a board, like Thief and Deus Ex style corpses, where you can just sort of prop them up. Okay, we're not getting up there. Yeah, Hitman ragdolls, the like OG Hitman, those were pretty great. Yeah, whatever happened to the Euphoria engine? Like, that stuff was so cool, and I feel like it got it kind of got replaced with just kind of doing like animation blended or something. I don't know. I don't know a whole ton about the underlying tech. I just remember Euphoria stuff was so cool at the time. Try behind and then regret. I have so many souls. I'm like so far from a bonfire, I don't want to warp back. But I have so many souls. This doesn't look good. Wait, this is back to the boss, isn't it? Or, Turn away. Okay.
No one must ever find that which is sheltered in the
I don't like this. Well, there's no going back up now. So my options are either feather out of here
turn
or...
back.
Yeah. I think I'll at least add... I'll put that there. I don't know if I'll even have time to use it if there's a invisible guy here, but... We'll see. There's a flamey flame thing. Looks like it looks a little bit like the old school like demo scene fire effect. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dylan? Do you remember those like old programming demo scenes where they'd have like the I think is it PSX Doom that has the cool like fire the fire sky
yeah.
and hell, like that. It kind of looks a bit like that effect. Well, not from here. It doesn't now. Yeah, there we go. Like there. Yeah. Anyway. What is this? Eye of the Priest. Okay. That implies that it's something I could use to see things. Now, what is it? Is the question. Is it a consumable? It wouldn't be a consumable, I don't think, right? It'd be maybe armor?
Can't remember. It might be a key item.
I'm kind of hoping it's a key item that I don't have to equip. Well, let's check the key items first. Be keys? There it is. Eye of the
Yep.
Priestess. Okay, cool. It is a key item. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Bloodshot. If we had something that say turn back with no way to turn back, we would be crucified by players. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're not Miyazaki, who, as we all know, single-handedly designed Dark Souls 2. Oh, man. Okay, well, only way back is forward. Or feathering back. I don't want to feather back at this point, though.
Here comes a nice chap.
Yep. Oh, come on!
Oh, he's stuck.
Oh, man. I thought I was being so smart there. Kind of worked. Oh, that was bad timing.
Oh, no.
Dang it. I thought I had a moment. The whole thing with Free Fourier is cool. Other devs simply aren't making it. There is, what is that game? Body Cam or whatever? They just showed off. They have something that is kind of similar. Alright, so I don't even know how to get back to where my souls are. I'm gonna try, but...
Well, you can... Getting back to your souls might be tricky. But
Yeah.
the key item you picked up does have a purpose.
Yeah, I've assumed now I'm gonna be able to see the boss. Or maybe other stuff, actually. Maybe I can see doors or something. Oh, come on, die. Die quickly, please. Thank you.
Compilation stutters for Godot. Is there a shader pre-caching you can do?
Ooh, that was close. I'm trying to remember. I think there is, yeah. I don't quote me on that, but I think there is. It just requires a little bit, Okay, yeah, there is. I've experienced a little bit of compilation stutter, but thankfully my project is not very shader heavy. It is, when it happens though, it's pretty noticeable.
I had to write a pretty in-depth tool to build the shader cache for Gloomwood. Basically, I wrote a tool that finds all the variants that get flagged in a build, and then you can copy paste it from the text log into the tool, and it'll add all the variants that are missing.
Yeah, it is noticeable stutter when it happens. Yeah. I forgot about that for Gloomwood, that you had to do that with all the different. I think it wasn't it especially bad because of the lighting.
Yeah, the light map stuff really added a shitload of variants.
Yeah.
But it's also our fault because of all the fun shader effects that we've done.
Right.
Like the dissolving stuff for. So Thomas made the dissolving stuff for research, and part of the Crow King research form, we were like, oh, it'd be awesome if you could vomit and dissolve things, and we're like, that's a great idea. We should totally do that. Oh, it's a whole nother shader variant for all the enemies. for all the enemies and a lot of the objects.
That's kind of what I always think about when I see some of the like projects people are doing that show up on like Twitter or Reddit or places like that, and they'll be like, look at we added juice to our AI, or not AI, sorry, we added juice to our UI, or we added, this effect for when you pick up this, and it's probably fine, but my first feeling is always like, man, I'm just always scared about, like, with effects, I'm always scared of accidentally creating something that absolutely destroys the frame rate and is impossible to find.
Yep.
So my first thought has always been, like, man, when you start layering a bunch of those effects on, like, I don't know, maybe other developers are smarter than me, but I'm just too scared of, scared of, like, accidental FPS loss.
Well, we know the truth, which is that 98% of the people who post game dev stuff on Twitter aren't making games. They're posting little scenes where they're working on something, and then they don't actually ship a game.
Right. I think I'm actually making good progress to getting back to my souls, I think. Then I can just leave. Yeah, I will say a lot of that stuff makes me feel real self-conscious. It's like, be like, oh, look at here's our effect for this, and I'm like, I don't even know how you do that. I kind of just made the pickup disappear with some sparkles. I don't know how you do any of that.
I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
Yeah, yeah, kind of that. But I'm just like, yeah, wow. People know so much more about, like, shader coding than I do. Shaders especially. It's especially shaders, because I feel like those are just an infinite pit of, like, you can never know everything about shader tricks. And some of them I'm like, I don't even know the steps you took to get to the point of being able to do this trick. Be like, yes, I just used a simple version of Herder Matrix instead. I'm like, I don't know how.
Herder.
Yeah. Well, I have two deep dark secrets. One of them is that I still don't understand what garbage collection is, and I'm afraid to ask. And the other one is that I have never learned how to do matrix math. And I think someday I'm gonna finally have to face the music about that, but I do not know how matrices work. I know they're many what's it called, like, they're a little bit like a vector full of vectors, but apart from that, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how they're like, here's the camera's transform. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to use it. I usually just pray that I can Google and find someone else who's been like, hey, how do I do this thing? And someone else magically gives them the correct matrix for it.
It's the same thing with quaternions. The way you do them is you keep plugging in different operations until it looks right. Or
exactly
vaguely right.
Yeah, like I can't do honestly, I'm still not that great at vector math. In vector math you use, like, all the time, but even then I'm like, oh, I have to go look up what the dot product is and how to use it again because I can never remember. And oh lord. Okay, well, I know where this came from. Oh, you also don't know what the garbage collector Yeah, I saw people who have opinions. They're like I saw someone who was like, my hot take is that a game engine should never have a garbage collector. And I was like, maybe? I kind of like that Godot doesn't have one, because then I don't have to feel as guilty for programming things in really stupid ways, but I don't know what the pluses and minuses are to it, because I still... I know basically what it does, where it's like, yeah, that cleans up all of the unallocated, or the stuff that doesn't, what is it, like stuff that's been allocated but no longer exists or something. But I
Right.
don't understand. Yeah, that's all I understand
Yeah.
basically.
There's catastrophic complications with either not having a garbage collection process or having a garbage collection process.
Oh,
And
good.
it's basically it boils down to this. If your language or engine or both, if you're using C# and Unity and all that kind of stuff, if you have a garbage collection, you are less you can be less strict with how you unallocate the memory that you've currently allocated, but you run the risk of getting a stutter when the engine decides to do its garbage collection, which is why if you're creating a lot of like if you have a process that eats a lot of memory up per frame, you will start to get the Unity death spikes, where it will stutter the game because it needs to run the garbage collection. I think we've had that issue with all of our Unity games at some point, and we've had to go through and make sure we're allocating things correctly and not leaving them in memory. So basically, it makes it easier for people who are getting into a language or getting into game development, and they don't have to worry super hard about how they free their memory up, which sounds like it's a bad habit, which kind of is, but a lot of games do not need that level of there's just a bunch of games that don't really need to be that considerate of their memory usage. You don't need 60 FPS for some games. If you don't have memory management, like memory garbage collection, then that process doesn't happen. You don't get the hitches. The problem that you start running into is if you have a process that doesn't unallocate memory, that's going to start eating the memory of. That's going to continually increase how much memory the software uses up, and you'll run into a memory leak, and it'll just continue to eat and eat and eat and eat the memory of your computer as the game continues to run that process.
Okay.
Until probably either the software or your computer crashes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That concerns me because I don't think I have done anything in my Godot project to actively clean up memory. Because I don't actually know where that would be necessary. Kirby Raw, you're saying Godot will kick your shit in if you don't. What would be the things you know of that you should avoid doing? Because I have not noticed any memory leak problems with my game, but I also haven't had it running for many hours at a time. Bonfire ahead, stay calm. Okay, we'll see if that's true. Yeah, I know that pooling
you're right.
is... Yeah, it was true. I know that pooling is not considered particularly useful for Godot, although I have used object pooling for some things, not because to avoid garbage collection, but just because they basically many of them need to be spawned at a time. You were deleting objects in a non-deferred way. You were getting stuck in RAM and causing a crash on exit. Okay. So is it like if you're not trying to do anything fancy with multi-threading, or if you're just deleting things using the bog standard queue free or whatever, you won't run into it? Because that's all I do, is I just queue free everything, because I assumed that would kind of take care of the management, and maybe it does, but now I'm worried.
No, I mean you're actively doing memory management when you use the free function. the queue free and stuff like that. Whereas like you probably remember you didn't have to do that when you were coding Dusk. You didn't have to call things to be free, but that also means that you kind of have to be, when that's why you have to like when an object is like on destroy, you have to be like, oh shoot, I have to make sure that like I delete the reference to the image I created at runtime or whatever.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it still sounds like something I'll probably wanna look more into. Oh, you were just freeing without queue. Oh, I see. Interesting. It sounds like something I want to look more into, just because there are a couple things I'm doing with the game that I could see potentially being a problem if memory isn't being handled the way I'm expecting it is. Just because it's a game with a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff happening per frame in some instances. What was I doing? Okay, so we are back here for two reasons. The first one is that I'm going to spend some of my souls to level up. The second one is that someone mentioned to me that, and I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, you can upgrade the armor, the Jester quote armor, which I think
doesn't it require a special resource? Like, is it the Twinkling Titanite?
Does it? I'm gonna look.
I think we tried to upgrade it before, but we didn't have enough Twinkling.
Okay. I never used Unity or Godot, so you gotta ask, what is different about them? I haven't done any sort of any sort of dedicated comparison of the engines, but having used both, I would say the biggest difference I've noticed is that Unity is a lot bigger in scope and is more finished in features, which I hesitate to say because I don't want to imply that Unity has a robust and finished feature set, because there's quite a bit in Unity that is overlooked and not up to par in the way it should be. However, it has fewer things than Godot where you're like, oh wow, they haven't added that to the engine yet. Unity is more stable. I don't know if I'd say much more in my experience, but it is more stable and robust than Godot, but it is significantly heavier. Like, way, way heavier of an engine in terms of everything. In terms of, like, starting up the engine. Starting up projects. In terms of, yeah. Unity, it's big and unwieldy, and it's owned by a corporation that you need to pay a subscription fee for. It is something you have to log into. It is something where upgrading the engine is not a massive ordeal, but it's a thing. You gotta, like, use their downloader. Well, you don't have to, I guess, but it's like, there's like a downloader, there's logins, there's, your projects are going to be big, relatively speaking, because it's a kind of general use engine that's targeting... I don't even know what Unity is targeting at this point, but it's not small developers. It's... I don't know what, mobile games? Gambling? NFTs?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're targeting now, but...
God knows.
So the big advantage that I have found to Godot, and the reason that I cannot go back now, is Godot is very lightweight, it's very agile in terms of its day-to-day use. It's very keyed toward specifically solo devs or small teams. Its feature set and its usability are keyed toward smaller teams. It's something that is developed by actual programmers, and in some cases, actual game devs. And its usability and feature set, I think, reflects that. And I would say, in general, it is just a much less painful process to actually use it and to make a game with it. Provided that you are okay with sometimes running into things that you're kind of surprised aren't more fleshed out. They're working on that, and even just in the year plus, I guess, that I've been using Godot, there have been things that were kind of not supported by the engine that now are supported by the engine. There's still stuff that isn't there, though. Like, a random thing I found the other day is that it doesn't have built-in support for oblique, near... how do you... What is this called? It's like oblique projection culling, I think.
Oh, God.
Anyway, basically,
Yeah.
it's what you need. You know what that is? What I'm talking about, right, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you need for doing like portals or mirrors or planar reflections.
The
so,
Ultra Kill team just went through like 6 months of writing
Yeah.
oblique culling
exactly.
code.
That is something that isn't natively supported in Godot. I think it is in Unity, although you're saying that maybe it isn't actually very good at it if they had to do a lot of their own implementation. Yes, yeah, for planar, it's for planar reflections. I think, so I haven't explored any further yet because I haven't had the time, but it does seem, and this gets back to me talking about matrices, it does seem like it is possible to provide your own projection matrix, and I think you can, use that to fake it. I've seen a bunch of discussions about this, and I haven't tried implementing any of the code in them yet. So I don't know if that works. But anyway, the point is that's an example of something where it's like, just a random feature, it's like, oh, this isn't supported. That's a little surprising. One that is no longer relevant now, but earlier in Godot 4, there was no, like, physics interpolation for like, rigid bodies, for instance. That was a really weird, like, oh, I'm surprised that isn't supported. That's not the case now. They just recently, one of the updates to 4 not only added like interpolation for that, but also made the Jolt physics library a default, which is good because previous to that, the Godot physics were not actually like finished. They kind of didn't work. And Kippy Rar is saying like they to fake planar reflections, they just put a reflection probe under the water. Which I mean, that's fair, honestly. And anyway, that's a very, very long-winded answer to that question. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's kind of touches on the differences between the two. I'm a developer who I tend to be pretty flexible about adapting to things not working or things not being in the engine. So for me, the net benefit of it being a much lighter weight engine, of it creating much lighter weight games, and it being free and open source and not under a subscription plan and not this big unwieldy behemoth not made for me, all of that is like, those pluses have definitely outweighed any of the negatives. However, the particle system sucks. I will say. I do not like Godot's particle system at all. I think it's really shockingly not up to par. And that's actually that's actually like a revised, improved particle system too. You can make it work, like you can, but it's not great. It is not anywhere near on the level of Unity's, which is saying something, because Unity's is not anywhere near on the level of Unreal's. So that is the one thing that I'm like, okay, this actually sucks. I miss the Unity version of this. That's the one thing that's been like that. Everything else I'm like, oh wow, I love this even better. Except particles. Kibira, they don't bother you, huh? You came from, you can do big fog areas, you can do muzzle flare. Yeah, it's not so much that, like, you can do stuff with them, it's kind of more just, the usability is bad, and then there's some really weird limitations, like, if you're trying to rotate particles, for instance, maybe I just haven't found the correct way to do it, but I have not found a good way of having, like, a mesh particle, like a jib chunk or something, and then having that rotate on more than a single axis. Like, in Dusk, like, when you jib enemies, that's all a particle system. And if you look, when you jib them, the jibs are kind of, you know, spinning in a lot of different ways. You can't do that in Godot. You can have them rotate on one axis. Graham, honestly, that is possible. That was my assumption at first, is that I just sucked and didn't know how to make it work. But now that I've been working with it for a long time, I'm just like, I kind of don't think it's possible to do this. Like, I've tried a bunch of different ways of getting rotation to work the way that I, you know, expect it to, and it just doesn't. It's weird. Anyway.
For its faults, I think Unity's Shuriken system is actually probably one of the better systems in Unity. It's one of the only ones that feels. Yeah, it's one of the only ones that feels like it's actually kind of complete.
You can
and,
yeah.
Like,
you can kind of
do what you want.
Yeah, you can kind of do pretty much anything you'd want. From what I've seen of Unreal's, I give it the leg up just because Unreal's particle system is, like, absolutely mental.
Yeah.
You can just like animate everything with it. It's crazy. But yeah, Shuriken is like, if Godot had something on the level of Shuriken, I would be very happy. But for me, it's the fact that, like, there are effects in Source Engine that I'm not able to emulate in Godot, and I feel like that's a bit of a problem. But once again, there is always the possibility that I'm just an idiot and I have not found the correct way to do it. Anyway, so Titanite Shard is what we need to upgrade these. And I can't remember.
That's super easy.
I can't remember if that's easy or not. Let's see if she sells them. Oh no, it's just the basic one. Okay, right. In my brain I was like, well, that can't be the basic one, right? Okay, it is the basic one. Let's make the Jester costume more effective. Actually, which one should I prioritize? Probably the robes, right? 3 to 6.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny to see if this actually makes a difference or not.
Yeah, Lollipop says you overestimate the Jester costume. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do it anyway, though. I mean, what else am I gonna spend the souls on? And the Titanite shards on? I'll do 2 for that, and then I think I'll upgrade this.
I think Unity's Shuriken system is a much better implementation than every attempt that Unity has made at making a decal system.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's one that is straight up, well, Unity does it have a decal system now?
Well, it has for, HR, what is it?
Oh, that's right.
Rendering pipeline.
They're stupid. I'm not even gonna talk about the pipelines, because I could rant for like, what is
pipelines?
Yeah, it's so dumb. Yeah, Godot's decal system is much better by virtue of existing in more than just one of multiple. Anyway, I was always a what is it called? Is it standard pipeline? Whatever the default one is. I stuck with that throughout everything.
We have to move to, I forget which pipeline it is, but yeah, Unity uses the built-in one, and we have to move to whatever. They're getting rid of built-in.
Oh my gosh, what a mess.
Yeah.
Let's get 6 of those. Gonna level up a little bit more. And yes, very likely this will not really do much of anything. but that. Now we need large Titanite shards. Okay. Did I? Oh, I didn't do these. Let's do these also. Pants or hat? Hat, I think. Wow, that still didn't use up many souls. Maybe we'll keep going. I'll just buy all of his. Yeah, Godot has a decal system. It's, they're like cluster rendered. So they have like the same benefits and limitations as the lights do, which is that you can have quite a lot of them. As I understand it, at least, since they're cluster rendered, the smaller it is on screen, the closer toward being free it is. So you can have like an untold number of tiny decals or tiny small point lights, and have them be nearly free, which is pretty cool. Oh, also, so Godot has, I think Unity has a equivalent to this also, if I remember right. I could be remembering wrong though, but Godot has reinforce these and reinforce the pants. So Godot has this thing called a multi-mesh, which is essentially a specialized. It's a thing that's made for doing like millions of the same mesh. So the rendering is it's like an Godot calls them scenes, but it's an object that handles rendering the same mesh a bunch of times. So the upside is that you can, and I've tested this, and I literally had like, I think it was 2 million of a test mesh rendering with no discernible frame drop, which is nuts. The downside is that there's a set performance cost, and you can't have any like frustum culling or anything like that.
Right.
So you have like, it's kind of the opposite of diminishing returns, where it's like if it's only a few hundred of a mesh, it's actually more expensive to use a multi-mesh, but when you get into like hundreds of thousands, then it starts being like worthwhile. I was testing that out the other day just for fun, and I was like, oh, let's do something crazy like 500,000, and it just ate it with no...
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Is it kind of like a type of batching?
I assume so. I don't know under the hood exactly what's happening. It is batching them. Yeah, so yes, it is a type of batching in that it's doing them all as a single draw call somehow. Or at least as many fewer less I think it's just as a single draw call, but I don't know how it does that. Did I want to... I think the puzzle sword is... I think I needed Twinkling Titanite for that, didn't I?
I'll be around.
Anyway, I've still got a bunch of souls. I don't know... Yeah, maybe I'll just bring them with me. I think it was... Yeah, it was this bonfire I was just at. Invest in life gems. That's true. That'd be better than losing all the souls. Maybe I'll do that. I'll see how many life gems there are to to buy.
When I like looked over at that, I was like, in my head it was like, invest in life gems, like it was like a stock.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna go to the top.
That would be
the life gem dip.
You know, that would be really interesting for like for a game to have like a Cruelty Squad style stock market, but then the stuff you buy and use like influences that stock market. So you could like invest a bunch of money into something useless and then use a bunch of it. I don't know. That would be interesting as a concept. Maybe something's done that and I just don't know. So I can buy a whole. I can buy 30. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I'm not gonna do anything else with the souls. Let's life gem max. Yes, exactly. Using the shittiest weapon to like pump and dump. Oops. Life maxing. Pump and dump is a good name. Yeah, actually. There's potential there. If someone took that concept and like did something, I don't know, there's potential there in having like a stock market that's tied to your purchase and or use of, you know, like weapons or things like that. I'm thinking of Magic the Gathering. Is that a thing in Magic the Gathering? Oh, you know what? I just realized, I'm kind of sick of having only part of my health bar. I'm just gonna... do that.
There's some like cards in Magic, like older card prints that go for heinous amounts of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really got into that.
Good. Don't.
Don't get it. Don't.
Like,
is what you're saying.
Luckily, I never got like I played it, but I never got into the whole buying cards things.
Mm-hmm.
But I have friends who have, and I'm like, how much money do you think you spent on this game? And they're like, I don't want to think about it.
Like, don't bring that up. So I'm just continuing to progress here, but I can't. I think I could go back and fight that one boss. Also.
Yeah, might be a little easier to see them now.
Yeah. This is giving me Shrine of Amana vibes. Oh man, there was a hidden guy.
Oh my god, the stun locking.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, this is doomed. Yeah.
This is a mistake.
That was such a mistake. I'm gonna go back and fight that boss. So it was funny how we were talking about it on a previous stream somewhat recently that Iron Keep is just such a troll, like just such a troll of an area. And then I saw that was like discourse, but like actual discourse, because my take on it is like, yeah, this area sucks, isn't it great? But then people were like arguing about like, no, it's like well designed, no, it's shittily designed. I'm like, it couldn't be both. Like,
yeah,
it can be
like,
abject bullshit, but also be funny and great.
Someone posted like a death run back to Smelter Demon when you like have to kill 1,000 fucking knights.
That was and that was so funny. Sorry, go ahead.
And they were posting it as like this is how can people play this game? This is fucking awful. And so many people were like, it's peak.
Yeah, I saw so many like actual arguments about it, and it was so funny because, as anyone who watches these streams know at this point, my stance on Dark Souls is basically like, when it's well designed, it's amazing, and when it's like horribly and shitty designed, it's also amazing, because either it's like well designed and good, and that makes me happy, or it's like really bad and that's funny and that makes me happy. And Iron Keep, I would say, is one of those where I'm like, this is so, like, it is just such bullshit, and makes it so funny. It's like, yeah, we all have to go through these dumb, like, twinkle toe tiptoeing through the Tulip Nights. And yeah, and I saw then there was some video of someone who was like, look, this run back isn't even that bad, and then the run back was so long that they had to speed the video up like 2 times. Like, look, here's how easy it is to get back there, and it was they had to like speed the video up. Just very funny all around.
That video I showed you of like, I think I showed you of it, of like the guy getting grabbed by a mimic, like completely not even near the like hitbox, and then being thrown off a cliff.
Yes, that was
into
so
another
good.
enemy.
Yes, it's perfect. See, I just fundamentally don't get when someone sees that and they're not like, this game is the best. You know what though? Before I played Dark Souls, I definitely would have seen that and been like, that looks awful. Why does anyone enjoy this? Like, I think it is one of those, like, you gotta play it to either get it or not get it. Because if you just look at it, it's like, well, no, that wouldn't be any fun. What? Do I want to shield out or just... I think I'll just try relying on rolling. The randomizer... Oh, man, I think we've talked about doing someday, Resident Evil 4 randomizer.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's a Dark Souls 2 randomizer. Surely that is like surely that is like the most chaos of any Dark Souls randomizer, right? Like a Dark Souls 2 randomizer.
It's got to be pretty cancer, yeah.
Keep rolling. I should do a chop gun. Didn't he? Yeah, but wait, yeah, you did the Chop Goblins randomizer. Right? Or was it was, I'm trying to remember if it was it the randomizer or was it a different thing? Yeah, it was the randomizer. I should actually play through that. That would be like a single stream. It'd be fun. Oh, it still got me. Oh, it's got me again. That's concerning. I think I have heal time here. No, I don't. Well, no, kinda. I sort of had heal time.
You're forgetting the true adage of beast enemies.
Dang it.
Always gotta fight them from the ass.
Yeah, you're right. Famous last words. I have heal time. I have said that a lot, and I think a lot of the times I've said that, I have not had heal time.
It's funny, because you would have had heal time if you healed instead of saying, I think I have heal time, and then healing.
Oh, that's true. That may be the problem there. Animal enemies be like chomp / roar. Yeah. So one thing I've done when I haven't I haven't had much time at the computer, so one thing I've been doing when I have like when I have my phone handy is going through and just sort of looking at and comparing weapon sounds in different games and different eras of games, which is like gun sounds specifically. Okay, I did have heal time there. Which is really interesting to do. And also, I think... Oh no, I'm stuck. Heal, please. Ah, dang it. So this is not going to come as a surprise at all, but I kind of think Killing Floor 1 is still up there as some of the best gun sounds ever. Not necessarily the most high fidelity or the the most technical or realistic, but like the ones that just have the perfect balance of sounding kind of modern and satisfying, and also just sounding ugly and powerful.
The animation work is amazing. in
Yes,
that
it
game,
is.
Too. Like it's also just in the same way you're saying about the sounds. It's like the perfect balance of like detailed enough to feel modern, but fast enough to feel like classic FPS.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, I know a lot of people would probably go to something like, I don't know, Modern Warfare 2019 or something like that as like peak weapon animations, but I think Killing Floor is up there just because it's like they're not showy. They have like, they still have a lot of like sense of kinetic energy to them. Like kind of, what I'm trying to say is they don't look like nice and tactical and pretty, but they look modern and believable, but also feel really responsive and like they have a direction to them.
That hitbox.
Which actually, yeah, I know. Which actually is why I would say Killing Floor 1 rather than Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2 has good sounds and good animations, but I've always been, like, I think 1 was just the perfect balance. Where, like, every
It
motion
was.
your character makes has the right movement behind it, and it all has a purpose. It all feels good.
And yeah, the reload anime is. I play a couple different classes in that game, but I mostly play Demolition, and you know, like in Terminator when Arnie is like, "Here, let me try mine," and blows up the door with like his grenade launcher. It feels like they referenced that animation and were like, "We need it as snappy and hard hitting as that." And it's just great. The
Yeah.
animation, it feels so lovingly aimed at like action films rather than like tactical videos.
Yeah, I have a bit of a pet peeve with overly jiggly animations.
Yep.
Like, I think a little bit of wiggle can make stuff feel good, but oh jeez, come on. But I think it's a little overdone in some games. I also have a massive pet peeve with gun reload animations that are like, basically I really hate the animations in what is that game? Insurgency, not the first one, the what is the more recent one? They're like really slow and elegant. It's like they're animations of someone who is reloading on a shooting range, and and they're not bad animations, but I'm just like, oh, this is so wrong for a shooting game.
Yeah,
Like, you should be slamming that magazine in. And
it's like, we're gonna die here. Just fucking put the magazine in.
yeah. Okay, so he has really accurate collision hitboxes. Okay. It's really funny how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We're making more progress on this fight now that you can see the boss.
Yeah,
Also, your
definitely.
rapier is about to be fucking busted.
Is it? Oh wow, it is. You're right. I don't have anything else out. This might end up being. I might. Once I get out. No, he's too fast. I don't think I'm gonna have time to go in and get something else out. Oh, it's gonna be close. Might have to end it punching. Yep. Oh, or wait, did I die? No, I didn't die. No. Dang it. Trying to switch weapons at the same time. I know there's probably a window here where I could get another weapon out. I'm just so scared to try it.
Just gotta grab it. Gotta grab anything.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's true. Anything would be better than this. Okay, I'm going for it. Oh.
No.
Did I die?
No.
Nope. There I died. Okay. Rip. And the tiger with his bare hands and lost. Alright, well that could have gone better. Time to go get my rapier repaired, I guess. Shame I don't have all of those souls now. Shame I can't sell back the life gems. Maybe I can sell back. Actually, can you sell? I don't think you can, but... Yeah, I could...
He's like, I ain't taking those back.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you can sell stuff in this game.
A wheel and deal man.
Yeah. Okay, how much is it gonna be? Not actually that much, okay.
Don't waste my time.
First, before I forget, I am going to bring another weapon in with me. Okay, not that. Maybe this? Not enough. Okay. How much is this? Not quite. Could also equip repair. Oh. That. Well, that's a bit of a difficult choice actually, because repair powder is going to have an animation. But this is gonna weigh me down. I think I'm gonna go with... I don't trust the animations.
A second rapier.
Yeah. Repair this. Oh, it was 50. I thought it was...
Don't waste my time.
I thought it was 13 for some reason. Alright, so I probably have to use all of these. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be, like, just enough.
What?
This thing that I'll never use again, because it's 15,000 souls to repair.
Remember, switching your secondary is faster than reloading your rapier.
That is exactly this moment, you're right. Wait, why am...
Are you like two-handing your offhand? Which is nothing.
Somehow, yeah. How do... Wait, what button combination do I do to fix this?
Isn't it just Y?
Oh, it's because I'm holding it. Right.
Yeah, if you
right.
hold it, it'll two-hand your offhand.
Huh, I wonder... I swear I was holding it before and it was fine. I think that was just a brain fart moment. Yeah, I think my brain was just short-circuiting there. Alright, let's go take on the tiger. But, so, I would actually recommend, if you're someone with some sort of interest in this direction, at least, it is really interesting to just go through. You can find a lot of them now. Like, people do those, like, every weapon in X game, sort of compilations. If you're interested in sound design, it is really cool to go through those for games from all sorts of different eras and see how like the way they've done gunshot sounds has changed, like, quite a bit, and sometimes it'll fluctuate to, like, opposite ends of the spectrum, like military shooters in the I press dodge, come on. Military shooters in the mid to late in the later 2000s and 2010s were very sort of heavy on the high end, very treble focused. Like, if you the best example actually is Far Cry 3. Like, all of the gunshot sounds basically sound like they did a high pass over them. They're just incredibly high and snappy. And then if you fast forward to more like now, it's actually kind of the opposite. It depends on the game, but now it's actually really they tend to make gunshots sound almost like a kick drum, like very bass heavy, and abrupt. There's like a really heavy pop, bassy pop, and then there's like the echo. Has there ever been something saw in a game that you realized was completely different when you were older? I'm not 100% sure what you mean.
This kind of reminds me of that thing that people were arguing years ago about whether the Shambler has fur or skin.
Oh, yeah. I've always been a fur advocate, but apparently it's a Jibs situation where officially, canonically, it's skin, but the non-official explanation is better. I think furry Shambler is the best explanation, but Romero said it's skin.
Yeti Shambler is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I always figured they were like Yetis. That's Romero 2-0 for having things that have a better community, like a better community interpretation. Like, Jibs, the word Gibbs is way better than the word Jibs. But it's, objectively it is Jibs, but I really wish it was Gibbs.
See, the thing is, Romero can be right, but he can be wrong even when he's right.
Yeah. I do that's one that I will respect, where it's like, I'm gonna respect was it Romero or Tom Hall? I can't remember if it was Romero who named him but anyway, that's one I'll respect, because it's like, it's Romero. Like, I'll respect that. The one I will not respect is I refuse to call GIFs GIFs. I refuse. I don't care that they are officially GIFs. They are GIFs. Like, Euler is one also, because I always forget that it's
Euler.
Yeah, it's Euler. Yeah, it's pronounced, I just say Euler.
Yeah, I called it Euler for years. I can't unlearn it. Someone was like, it's Euler, and I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. It has to be Euler for me now.
Yeah, Kippy Roy, that's how it's pronounced. Isn't that stupid? Like, it's not, it's Euler. We all know it's Euler. I'm sorry. Exactly, Euler. I'm sorry, Bloodshot. Throughout this, you were explaining what I asked you to explain, and I haven't looked at it. Okay, I think I kind of get what you're saying. I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, I guess furry Shambler is an example of that. I definitely know I have had that happen with some things, but I can't remember them right now. But there's specifically some enemy designs where it's like they look
really
like one thing and they're actually another.
The case that Luke brought up, where like a game gets remastered and then it's like, oh, that doesn't look like the enemy in my mind, is usually the case where you run up against this problem.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think this is probably exclusively a problem of anything before like maybe 7th gen or so. Definitely, I doubt this is a thing that would come up in like the more modern day, because I feel like this is exclusively a thing of lower resolution assets leaving stuff kind of abstract and implied.
Yeah.
For example, the Metroid... Oh, I remember that. The Metroid Prime remaster doors don't look quite right. Man, I did so well with that one run of this boss.
I know, and then every run after, it's like, oh, that was a cool run. You'll never get the boss that low ever again.
Yep.
They need to do like a psychological study of why that happens to boss fights in this game.
Yeah.
Or these games, because it's so universal.
It is. It's incredible. I think I can hide behind this. Oh no, I can't! Okay! That's okay, it still kind of benefited me. That slash is what's getting me. I need to watch out for that. Again, it's the slash. I'm getting too greedy. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, okay. Oh, dang it. I was trying to do something fancy, and I paid for it. Oh, I'm not dead.
Oh, well, you're not dead.
Wow, that's shocking. I swore that was the end there. Now I will be dead. Maybe if I roll in... No, rolling into them is not going to work. Come in a line. Ugh! Ugh! Top off. Maybe if I run to the side. Yes, actually, okay.
Yeah, that works out pretty well.
Okay. Oh, I'm out. Okay. Dang it! Come on. I got blapped, yeah. Ava does love catching people who roll backwards. Is that the problem that was happening there? I'll just have to not roll backwards, I guess.
That was something that
Also
Bloodborne really
triggers.
teaches you. Like every boss punishes you for rolling away from it.
Okay.
But you like a lot of the bosses you have to roll towards it, not away from it, even when it's like leaping towards you.
Gotcha. Looks like we have an ad coming up, so I'll try to not defeat the boss during the ad. Most animal bosses you want to meet right beneath them, yeah. It doesn't do much more damage. Dang it. Okay. Incidentally, this is basically what the new puppy does to our older dog. Just outmaneuvers her and then plays tug of war with her tail, and it's really funny.
Your dog summons ice crystals?
Ice dog.
That's the more cursed version of fish dog. that we had.
Yes. Alright, what's your next move, Snow Tiger? Oh, two?! That was a good move. I can't believe it. I'm losing to a cat. I barely survived that. Okay. Move over to these. Oh, come back. Come back, kitty. No! I just get so greedy.
It's aggression when it works out and greed when it doesn't.
Yes, exactly. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna back off.
Oh no!
Very
not
close.
the third one. Oh,
Now, that
Man.
could have been really bad. Oh, the ad break wasn't processed! Oh, shoot. I said I wasn't gonna do that, and then I did it.
No.
Oh, sorry, everybody. That's why you keep throwing... I
Fucking
know,
hell.
I should keep throwing knives on here. I just...
That's what I tell everyone. Throwing
Yeah.
knives are the unsung hero of these games.
Would be lacerating. Got so many poison ones. Do poison. So apologies for everyone who was watching the ad when that happened. That's a pretty good timing, honestly, because it's about time for the stream to end. Does not open. None of them open from this side. Hopefully there'll be a bonfire. Ooh, this is pretty. Actually, I think it looks better. Yeah, I think it actually looks better without the snow going. I mean, it looks cool in the snow too.
I love that, like, anytime Dave's like, "Oh man, it's weird that the fog changes so much when you like enter or exit a building."
For
And then you
Gloomwood,
play a game
yeah.
like and then you play a game like this, and it's like, oh, when you're inside, there's no weather outside at all, but when you're outside, it looks like it's fucking like torrential snowing.
Yeah. The standards that New Blood has for the games are in some ways greater than the standards for most AA games throughout most of video games being a thing. There was a great amount of attention to detail at New Blood, which I think people do appreciate. But there was not as much attention to detail in Dark Souls 2. There was more attention to, oh god, we need to ship this thing. Managing snow... Yeah, to be clear, I don't know if there is a good solution to having weather you can see indoors and outdoors.
It's so much pain.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, that's one of those eternal video game problems. Like, even with modern technology, it's like, well, do you have just a big particle systems that can collide? Do you have something turn on and off as you get... Yeah, it's... Anyway, you were gonna say, Dylan?
We piggyback off the room propagation system, so like when rain hits those areas, they can be disabled, but there are also like exclusion volumes for like when you destroy like a window, like a ceiling window, and rain has to be like let in. There's we have volumes that are specifically set for like, okay, let the rain through this area, or block the rain if it's like it's an outdoor area but it's got cover. There's of course like the rain or snow has like collision detection on its own when it interacts with certain objects, and we have that level of detail is also handled in the options for people with like weaker systems. Thomas did a lot of work on the weather system, and I don't know, this isn't live yet, but Thomas actually went back and, like when you backtrack to like the fishery and like the storm begins, and you have like that rain counter, we actually added a lot more like rain planes and more weather effects during that part. So
okay.
like rain coming off storm drains and stuff like that.
That's cool. I'll have to jump in and see that. Yeah. Also, snow and rain murder the bitrate for videos and streams. There's I have kind of a unique snow effect for Bug Bite, which is because it's an isometric game. The camera's only seeing from one point of view, so I actually just have the snow be it's just layered transparent planes, basically. It's like fake parallax, with then there's like a then there's some like fancy filters applied and stuff, but basically there's a huge amount of snow over, like, I made it because instead of it being a particle system, it's just a texture, so I could make there be a lot of tiny little snow particles, which looks really cool, but I know it is going to absolutely murder any video made of the game. I'm probably gonna have to have like I don't know, some option for disabling the snow for streamers or something. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. There's another one of those chests in ice. Honestly, the ice looks pretty good, all things considered. Like the way it blends in, like it has like the proximity fade and stuff. It looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna open this door to see what's in here. Shame. Dark Souls has taught me that there's, you know, there's a non-zero chance of you opening a door and seeing, you know, a woman the size of the Empire State Building with huge cleavage. So you always want to make sure you open the doors just in case. Anyway, that's going to be it for the stream today. This is a nice stop point for the stream. And it is 2:30, so I'm going to head out and hopefully we will not have another month or yeah, no boobs, time to quit. Yeah, hopefully we'll we won't have another month until stream again.
We have, well, actually, this might be a problem. So next week, it's Summer Games Fest. I will check if we're busy Friday. The following week, Allie and I are going to London.
Okay.
So yeah, for sure. In 2 weeks I'll miss it. Not entirely sure about next week though.
All right, so we'll hopefully next week. I think I'm good next week. That'll be after a week of me watching 2 of the kids myself, so I'll probably be tired, but I think I'll be available. And I just noticed while we were talking that, do you see the texture? It's mirrored right here.
Yep.
I wonder why an environment texture is mirrored. Maybe it's just the UVs or something. But
yeah,
usually
like,
those are for things like I don't know. You would think it wouldn't be on a environment texture because that would just be tiled. Usually mirrored textures are for things like a double door or something like that. But anyway, I just noticed that while we were talking. Maybe when oh, that's true. I can still stream on the day. I might just do a one-off that day, depending on how things go. Yeah, that would be a good idea to get some actual variety in there for once. Yeah, I'll think about what to do. More Hunkenstein, maybe. Yeah. For now, though, I'm gonna head out and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but thank you everyone for coming as usual, and for Dylan for joining, and I will see everybody next time. Bye!
See ya!